Bro, like, your ass gonna gain followers off of my shit, bro. What's up, YouTube, and welcome to the channel. Now, this was normally known as the Smoke Forest Gaming channel, but after going through a lot of changes, I've realized that I rather much prefer just running my mouth and talking about anime 24/7, in which you guys have a very good deal because you're getting not one but two videos. Yep, over the past couple weeks I've been learning how to edit, and it's been shaky. So in this case, you're gonna get the first episode and the second episode of the second season of Demon Slayer, which we are calling this arc the Entertainment District arc. Now, I'm just gonna go through the first two episodes. I'm gonna give my favorite takes on it and the parts that I think will impact us going forward on into the show. Let's go ahead and get started. And a new name is coming to the Smoke Forest, but for now, I just really want to get into this anime because I really do love this arc. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we start the episode off with seeing this little boy going back and forth from the library and back to his house. And now we're seeing his parents, who are talking about how blessed they are to have a son and how intelligent he is and how in the future he's going to take over the family business. But we also get some bad news. This kid suffers from some kind of illness. He cannot go outside in the sunlight. He can only go out during the evenings and at night. That right there already rose red flags to me. So then we are coming to a scene where the little boy is in the study. He's looking through this book and he's looking at this picture of this flower. And then literally to the left, we see the balcony door opens, and the person standing at the door is Higher Moon Demon 3 Akaza. Isn't it what? Akaza? I'm never gonna get this guy's name. I can never remember it. So in this scene, we are getting Higher Moon 3 Akaza, who is reporting to Muzan, and now we're learning that he has all his Higher Moon's demons out looking for the blue spider lily flower. I will go into depth on this flower, but I think the anime is going to take care of that in due time. So I'll let the anime do that. At this point, Muzan is already ticked off because his whole plan is literally revolving around this one flower. So it's like even though he killed a Hashira, Muzan does not care about that. And that's another thing that I took from this, is that we're literally seeing how desperate he is to find this flower. This flower, to me, this flower is the focal point of this entire show. So we're definitely gonna get more into that. And then literally, as all this is going on, he's scolding them. I think he put him in some kind of trance to where he was feeling intense pain as he was talking to him. But after Akaza gets dismissed, he starts having flashbacks of when Tanjiro threw his sword, and it appears to me called him a coward. So now we are literally seeing him pummel this sword literally with all his might, breaking it, and then he's making his vow that when he sees Tanjiro again, he's going to splatter his brains all over the place. To me, this is foreshadowing a fight between Higher Moon 3 Akaza and Tanjiro. So in the next scene, we are seeing Tanjiro going to Rengoku's family's house, which was Rengoku's last wish right before he passed away. In this scene, we are seeing Rengoku's younger brother, but we're also getting to see Rengoku's father. And within this, Rengoku's father notices Tanjiro's earrings. At this point, we are getting information about all the breathings, which apparently all the other breathings that we know about all come from one breathing, which is known as sun breathing. And according to this, sun breathing started this barbecue business. Sun breathing is the most brokenest breathing to have, and then he literally goes on to say flame breathing, thunder breathing, and water breathing, they're all just mimics of sun breathing. So now we are literally seeing what Tanjiro's earrings mean, and we also get a picture of one of the sun breathers which is this guy. Now, this guy I'm gonna do a whole separate video on because I'm just as interested in this person as you guys are. Apparently, he was like the first sun breather, and I think this is the man that Muzan is the most terrified of. I also learned in this whole sequence that Tanjiro's dad was not a demon slayer. Tanjiro's dad was a coal salesman. This episode, Tanjiro had proved it, telling us about Sunbreather. He goes right back to Badmouth and Rengoku, which sends Tanjiro into a fury and causes Tanjiro to swing on him. And at this point, we are learning that not only is the father is knowledgeable in the breathings, he's also a former Hashira. So now this is the third former Hashira I'm seeing in Demon Slayer. I mean, Tanjiro was trained by a former water Hashira, and we know Zenitsu was trained by a former lightning Hashira. So this is now the third Hashira, a former flame Hashira that we're seeing in the show. And I'm actually curious to know if these three guys know each other, like when they were in their prime, were they all living at the estate together and were they slaying demons? So now after the fist fight outside and Tanjiro literally using his signature headbutt on him just to knock him out, the dad goes off to buy him another barrel of booze. While Tanjiro and Rengoku's little brother have a whole conversation while sitting inside the house, and he gives him a book which gives him more info on sun breathing. And then right before Tanjiro takes his leave, Rengoku's brother gives him Rengoku's sword tilt. I think that's what it's called. It's the piece that literally sits right in between the blade and the handle of the sword. He gives it to Tanjiro and tells Tanjiro it's better off if he's to travel with it. It'll bring him luck. We're gonna see this tilt being added on the Tanjiro sword in the future arcs of the anime. So please keep that in mind. So then as Tanjiro takes his leave, we see Rengoku's brother going to report to the father that their guest has left and that he has returned. And then the little brother is trying to tell the father Rengoku's last message to him, which we know as "take care of yourself, old man." Well, he didn't say the old man, I added that part in. And now we're coming up to one of the most saddest scenes that this episode can really give us. Right before his father can take a big gulp of his drink, he remembers the last words that Rengoku has said to him before he left on his mission. I forgot what he said in the anime, but I know for a fact in the manga, Rengoku said, "Don't worry, father, I'll be right back." And then at this point, we are seeing his father completely break down into tears of knowing that his son is dead. And to me, this is one of the most saddest things. To me, a parent should never have to bury their child. Yeah, and I'm gonna reference this scene again in a future video that I'm gonna call the most saddest moments in anime. This one is definitely gonna be on there for me. Now we are leaving from that sad moment. And now we're coming back to Tanjiro, who is leaving the Rengoku estate, heading back to the Butterfly Mansion to get some rest. And it is at this point we are seeing, I cannot pronounce this man's name right, so until I learn how to pronunciate it, I'm gonna call him the Sword Forger. Okay, we're seeing the Sword Forger again for the second time. Now, if you've watched the first season of Demon Slayer, you know Tanjiro had broke his first sword fighting Lower Moon Demon 5 Ryu in the forest, and then we know during the train arc he threw his sword at Higher Moon 3. So basically, he just lost his second sword. So now the Sword Forger is here, and he's telling him that you just lost the second blade that I made you, and you need to die. And you need to die for your sins 10,000 times. And he chases him around the estate for almost 24 hours. So now here we are. We're getting a mini time skip. We're getting a 4-month time skip from after Rengoku's death, and here we are seeing Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu going through intensive training. Now I took a little something from these little mini scenes they're showing right here. They're also showing us their growth because if you think about it, the death of Rengoku really woke them up. It woke Tanjiro up because he now knows he needs to get as strong as possible to prevent more deaths from happening. And you also notice Zenitsu, he stops complaining about going on demon missions. And I feel like he stops complaining because he knows now these demons are really a problem. Inosuke, to me, is, even though they're saying he's becoming more aggressive, I feel like he's really calmed down a lot more when he fights. It's almost as if like he stops just charging in head on and he actually plans his moves out before he actually goes into it. So basically we're seeing a 4-month growth from our main characters, and we're also getting to see literally something that the anime put in it, because this was not in the manga when I read it. Like, we are being able to see a little bit of Tanjiro's growth in his training when him and Nezuko leave the Butterfly Mansion to go handle a demon that has been living in this shrine. And we see right here how he's literally using water breathing 4 form striking tide, and he's using it almost at a master level. So this is literally showing us in the 4 months how much more skilled he's gotten as a demon slayer. And to me, all I was thinking about is, if we seeing how nasty he's getting now, can you just imagine how nasty Zenitsu and Inosuke is? And so now we're coming to the closing parts of the episode, where we're at the front of the Butterfly Estate, where we are seeing the 4 worker girls who work in the Butterfly Mansion, and we're also seeing Kano here in this scene. And we're also being introduced to another very important character into the show. We are being introduced to the Sound Hashira, Lord Tegan Uzui. Oh my God, I'm gonna butcher his name while I'm talking about him out through this entire arc. So as I was just saying before, Lord Tegan is the Sound Hashira, and he's basically saying he needs females to help him on this mission that he's going on. And so basically he's kidnapping two of the female workers who work at the Butterfly Mansion. And it's here at this point where Tanjiro literally tries to hit him with the signature headbutt. But mind you, man, Lord Tegan is literally a shinobi, and he's not falling for that. So then in the midst of all this, Tanjiro was able to make a deal with him, saying that you don't got to take them with you because we're going to take their place. And at this point, we see Zenitsu and Inosuke have returned from their missions, and they've literally volunteered their services to help the Sound Hashira with his mission. And now, literally, we're coming to the end of the episode where the Sound Hashira is giving us information about where they're going, and they're heading into the entertainment district where they've been given word that a demon is residing there. And that comes to the end of the episode. Now, this is only the first episode of the entertainment arc. So it's like, this is going to be really probably one of the most talked about arcs in Demon Slayer, probably next to the last arc. We're going to see a whole lot of things. We're going to get a lot of information about the higher moons. We're going to get a lot of more information about Muzan. And I'm really hoping we get to see probably another higher moon in this arc, or we get to see Higher Moon 3 again. I mean, it would be interesting to see how would the Sound Hashira fare against fighting him. So if you stuck around for the remainder of this video, I'm gonna need you to hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom. Leave a comment telling me how I did. If you think I did trash, hit that dislike button. Hey, as long as you do something, I appreciate it.